Today's topic is fools.
All right. Let's bring out Psalms 94. Hold on. Oh, you're gonna do the. All right. Let's do that. So you're gonna read for me? Actually,
Yeah, I can read.
I bet. Let's go. Bring out Psalms 94 and 8.
So the book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 8. Understand ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise?
So straight away, you gotta understand that there's many brutes amongst us. A lot of non-thinkers, a lot of people that they just don't have common sense. You know, simple fools. It says, "When will you be wise? When will they be wise?" Right?
Sheesh.
Let's go to Proverbs 1 and 7. Let's get that answer. When will they be wise?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools
There it is.
despise wisdom and instruction.
There it is. So once you have the fear of the Lord, that's when you start having that knowledge. But those same fools that we just spoke about in that last precept, they despise wisdom and instruction. So, they want to live in their foolishness. They want to continue doing the things they do, not understanding that they look foolish.
So silly and
Let's head over.
foolish.
You got a precept? You want to add something to that?
Oh no.
All right, let's go over to Ecclesiastes 7 and 9.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
There you go. That's a good one right there. Let's see what the word hasty means.
Moving or acting fast, or acting with haste. Made or done with haste or speed. Quick, just fast.
All right, head back to the. So don't be quick in your spirit to get angry, right? Because anger rests in the bosom of fools. People like to There's times when, how you say, the situation's at hand, and you kind of like jump the gun, especially when you're angry,
And then you
right?
regret it.
Later, then you regret it later, right? Right? And then
Yep.
when you regret it later, what happens now? You got to continue holding on that act, and now you're looking more foolish. That resonates inside you. Let's head over to Psalms 107 and 17. Now this is what happens with foolish people. We can be, for the past couple of months, weeks. We've been telling people, you know, about us, about the Israelites, who we are, how to start taking heed, to have the fear of the Lord. But there's some people that just doesn't want to take heed. It could be your own family members. It'll be your friends, co-workers, whoever it might be. You know.
Con,
But look what happens. Look what happens.
con.
Read that out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 107 and verse 17. Fools, because of their transgression and because of their iniquities, are afflicted.
They're afflicted. Now we know what afflicted means, right?
Con,
Now they don't have the fear of the Lord, so what they're doing, they're transgressing the law. Transgressing the law, and because of those iniquities that they transgress, they start feeling guilty and afflicted in their soul. The turmoil, guilt, all that. Read that.
afflicted means to be greatly distressed or troubled by bodily or mental pain. Just
See that?
distressed.
See that? See that? That's big. All right. Let's head over to Proverbs 10 and 23.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 23. It is as a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom.
It's a game to them. It's a game to the fool to do things mischievously, right?
Con.
I want to use an example, but
Hmm.
they
It's a sport. It's a game. To a
think
fool.
it's a game, but they get caught up in their game. But the people that are wise, they see the game.
Yup.
They understand what the fool is doing because guess what? That person has wisdom.
Con.
See that?
Yes, sir.
Let's head over to Proverbs 10 and 21.
Same page. The chapter 10 and 21. The tongue of the just is as a choice silver.
No, 21, brother.
Oh, okay, sorry. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom.
So the lips of the righteous, they feed many. You know, people listen when you're a wise person, and those people that listen to the wise, they continue on when they take that advice, and they go on and they succeed with that.
Con.
But fools, they die for that wisdom. They still do foolish things, but they just cannot get that wisdom because they're busy playing games. They're busy playing those games. Let's head over to Proverbs 18 and 2.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 2. A fool have no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself.
They don't you can give them the best advice in the world and they don't want to listen. You know? They don't want to listen at all. They don't want to take no advice, especially like follow the Lord's statutes, commandments, none of that. What they want to do, they want to follow their hearts. And that's and when you follow your heart, what do you find? Nothing.
No, yeah.
Foolishness. Proverbs 29 and 11.
What was the next one? Sorry.
Proverbs 29 and 11.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 11. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it until afterwards.
Fool always quick to talk. Talk, 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 talk. They love to talk. They love to talk shit, don't they? But a wise man, he waits to the end to give his final analogy, analysis, his thesis, whatever you want to call it. You know, again, how many times you said something, jumping the gun, and you should have waited to the end to speak. It happens a lot.
Okay, yeah.
So remember, sometimes when you don't know something, just keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Wait to the end to put in your input. It's better that way. You be surprised at what comes out to light when you do. Let's go to Proverbs 14, Shalaki. Proverbs 10 and 14, but I need this in the NLT. So I could read it if you don't have that.
I could never really find a good like NLC on the websites.
I'll read it. I mean, you can get that at the on the Bible Gate Bible Gateway, but I'll read this one, right? This is Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 14. Wise people treasure knowledge, but the babbling of fools invites disaster. You see that? Wise people treasure knowledge. So when you're wise and you hear some good advice, you treasure that. You know? But we know what the fool likes to do. They like to invite disaster. So now Proverbs 29 and 9 in the ESV. And I'll read that one as well. If a wise man has an argument with a fool, the fool only rages and laughs, and there is no quiet. You see that? So you can be wise, you could have understanding, and then you're trying to debate with a fool. A fool's just gonna get angry immediately or start laughing like it's a joke, you know? And it'll just be a complete argument all the time. There's no understanding that's gonna happen. And so it's best to just be quiet. Don't even argue. They don't get it. The foolish person don't get it. They don't have the fear of God in them. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and 5. No, excuse me, I'm still feeling a little under the weather.
It's alright.
Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiasticus, all the way down. Book of Sirach, all the way down.
Chapter and verse.
33 and 5.
Book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 5. The heart of the foolish is like a cartwheel, and his thoughts are like a rolling axle tree.
What's an axle tree?
This fine design thing.
It's probably like a wheel or something.
Seems like something that helps. Yeah, some type of first wheel or something.
So a wheel, basically. Self-explanatory.
An axle, too.
Their minds just keep going round and round and round and round and round. There's no end point to their foolishness. Proverbs 18 and 6.
Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 6. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. Calleth for strokes. Fuck
So they always want to be looking for a fight, always want to be arguing, always want to. That's pretty much what it says. Fool loves to argue. So, I mean, this whole class is just gonna be precepts on foolish people, and it's gonna be obviously it's.
yeah. It's alright.
Let's head over to Proverbs 18 and 7. The next one.
A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul.
They like to talk so much shit, not realizing that they're putting themselves to damnation. So the next one is gonna be Proverbs 15 and 7, but I'm gonna pull it out of the GNT.
Fine.
It says, knowledge is spread by people who are wise, not by fools. You know what? Fools only spread gossip. No knowledge in what the foolish people see saying.
Fine. They just
They
want to
tell
confuse
they tell
people.
their stories. They got people feeling bad for them, but there's no knowledge behind any of that.
Yeah, they trying to confuse people, cause drama, whatever it is. Just not on topic ever.
Right, but knowledge is spread by people who are wise. So we don't, wise people just got one thing on their mind is that knowledge, especially teaching the knowledge of the fear of the Most High. Let's head over to Psalms, Shlaki, Proverbs 14 and 7. You got it? Proverbs 14 and 7?
Oh, you didn't hear me?
No.
Oh, the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and 7. Go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge.
If you see somebody that's talking foolishness, just get away from them. Just get away from them. You're not going to get nothing out of their mouth. The longer you
Just more
stay,
foolishness.
it's just more foolishness. That's pretty simple. This is pretty simple. Psalms 14 and 1. Same book. Oh no, it wasn't the same book. Salaki.
Kind of good. Psalms chapter 14 and verse 1. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have abominable works, and there is none that doeth good.
I know somebody in this house that said that. Saying it's just like that. It's like the Living Testament. This
Yep.
book is alive.
Yes, it is.
This book is alive and well.
Yep.
The fool said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. It literally speaks for itself. Proverbs 13 and 20. Shalom, Mike.
Hello.
Shalom, shalom. Proverbs 13 and 20.
Shalom, Mike. The book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, But a companion
So if
of
you walk,
oh sorry.
so it's that, it's like that saying, the saying, of, what's that word? Association by assimilation. You know,
Con.
you can judge. You get judged by who you walking with. Finish that off.
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
Self-explanatory. You know, if you're out there hanging out with a bunch of fools, what's gonna happen to you? The second book of Timothy, chapter 2 and 23. 2 and 23. 2 3. Are you lagging?
He said 2 and 23.
Chapter 2, verse 23.
Okay, here it is. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 23. But foolish and unlearned questions avoid knowing that they do gender strifes.
What you think that means?
But foolish and unlearned questions avoid knowing that they do gender strifes. I'm not really sure because I don't know the.
When people ask stupid questions that you know, they're foolish questions. What do you think's gonna happen? They're gonna start problems.
Oh
So
yeah,
somebody's
cause
asking you a stupid question, and you know there's nothing that's gonna be good. Avoid that. Like, bro,
kind of if it's like misleading or like put make you think about something that you already know. It's like 100% fact.
right. Let's go to the first book of Peter's, chapter 2 and verse 15.
First book of Peter, chapter 2 and verse 15. For who, for so is the will of God, that with well doing ye may put into silence the ignorance of the foolish men. So let me read that from the top, Salakia. For so is
Hmm.
the will of God, that with well doing ye may put to silence the ignorant of foolish men.
So you know, Slocky, I told you I feel good. It's been feeling under the weather a couple of days now.
Con,
I'm literally pushing myself to do this.
nah, con, I'm sorry, I'm
All
tired
right,
too.
it's all good. All right. So if you continue to do the will of God, right? Lord such commandments, everything that needs to be done, you know, foolish people who can't talk shit about you. It'll make them quiet.
Silence.
Silence. And nonetheless, people would recognize they will be doing foolishness, but they when somebody recognizes somebody that's real, you know what's gonna happen? You're not a shitbag. They're gonna look out for you, like, yo, we've been doing some foolish shit over here. You don't deserve that because you're not a fool. You see what I'm saying? Because you are the righteous one.
Con.
You get that?
They be like ashamed. They wanna talk to the person who's truth like who's not a fool. they
Right,
wanna be like they
right.
wanna be not a fool. So
That's right. Let's go to Job 5 and 2. You're gonna go 5. Job 5, 2 and 3.
con the book of Job chapter 5 verse 2 through verse 3. For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. I have seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly I cursed his habitation.
It's for wrath killeth the foolish man. People that act on their foolishness, bad things happen to them. And envy, they slay the silly one. You know what I mean? How you gonna, somebody off of a foolish thought, they can go and get killed off of silliness. You know. So when you see people try to settle with the foolishness, you just be like, "Yo, get that shit out of here!" Like that, you ain't posting up in here. It's that
Con.
simple. Don't let the foolishness settle. Knock that shit right out the park. Let's go over to the book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 7.
Book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 7. A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity, but a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
They always want to be talking, 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 right? Wise men, they just hold their tongue. When is the right time to speak, they'll talk. Not everything deserves an answer, a conversation, huh?
Con.
Sometimes it's best just to hold your tongue until the right time. That's what a wise man would do. All right, let's head over to. I'm gonna read this one because this is the GNT. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 22, verse 7 and 8 in the GNT. Now hear this out. Trying to teach a fool is like gluing a broken pot back together, like waking someone out of deep sleep. Explaining something to a fool is like explaining to a sleepy person. When you have finished, he'll say, "What was that again?" So
Con.
you see that? Don't waste your time trying to explain yourself something to foolish people. They don't understand. They don't get it. They just don't get it. They're stuck in their
They're
ways.
just fools, man. What does it say? That the ignorant are gonna be ignorant. You know.
Hmm. Let's bring out the same book, right? Ecclesiasticus. You're going to go over to chapter 22, 14, and 15.
Book of Sirach, chapter 14. The chapter 22, verse 14 through verse 15. That's what it was. What is heavier than lead, and what is the name thereof but a fool? Sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding.
Julian, close the door, please. Close that door, please. Shlakia. What is heavier than lead? What's heavier than lead? And what is the name thereof but a fool? Sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding. I'd rather carry sand, salt, a whole bunch of iron. All of that stuff is better to carry on your back and walk all the way down the block than to have a conversation with someone who doesn't understand what you're saying.
Con.
Go to 13 and read that one. This is my favorite one too, to be honest. This is one of my favorite ones. 23, 22, and 13.
Uh, so,
Same book. Same book. Chapter 22 and 13.
okay. Talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that have no understanding.
So don't talk too much to don't talk to people who are foolish. And you definitely don't go to them for advice if they have no understanding. Keep going.
Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries.
So if you don't beware of these kind of people and you go to them, you'll have trouble, bro. You want to have problems? Go ask advice from.
To
They gonna right? We agree?
kind.
Finish that off. You left off at the part.
Uh, so okay. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness.
You just again more of that. Stay away from foolish people because if not, you won't find rest. You get away from them, you're gonna feel at ease, and you'll never be worried about madness. You know what madness is, right?
Yeah,
Not the angry kind, the kind that drives you crazy.
con.
Now we're going to Ecclesiasticus chapter 27 and 11.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27, verse 11. The discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom, but a fool
What does
change.
discourse mean? The discourse of man, Saki, a discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom. So the ways of a godly man comes with wisdom. But what?
I'm sorry, Freddie came in my room.
Hmm.
Um, what was that again?
Started from the top. 27 and 11.
All right. The discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom, but a fool changeth as the moon.
So a fool changes his mind like the
Yeah,
moon changes. Keep
con.
going. Let's
That's it.
go to read 13.
All right. The discourse of fools is irksome, and their sport is it in the wantonness of sin.
You see that? So you could be the most godly person on the world. If you're married to a foolish person, they just want to continue sinning. It's in their blood. To be careful who you pick as friends, like where you work, anybody you're gonna associate with, because if you're following these laws, statutes, and commandments, there's people out there that is totally against what you're trying to do.
Con.
It's literally like they want to sin.
Con.
It's clear as day what this book is saying. Let's head over to Baruch 3 and 28. Baruch 3 and 28.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 28.
And this is something that I want you to read out loud with authority.
Okay. But they were destroyed because they had no wisdom and perished through their own foolishness.
See that? See that? You can have the great people besides you, but because they want to remain foolish, they are destroyed because they have no wisdom.
Destroyed. Finished. Done.
Finished. And
Fatality.
because of their own foolishness, they would perish. You have a question, brother?
I don't have nothing to say.
I thought brother Judas was trying to say something.
Oh, no.
No, just listening.
All right, cool, cool. So this class, I don't know if you came a little late. The class is on foolishness and foolish kind of people. I think you got the drift so far, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Con. All right. So these are the type of people we want to kind of avoid in the sense of letting them dwell around you. Or I'm not saying don't associate them to a point. Don't associate them, but only associate them to a point where it won't affect your life. Because if you get caught up with these kind of people, you're only asking for destruction of yourself. There's nobody. This is not about. This is just a class that I. You know. All right, let's head over to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes, right? The TES 5 and 3. So as you can see, they're gonna make they're gonna get caught up in their own mistakes and their own foolishness. You don't gotta do nothing. They'll do it by themselves.
Khan. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 3. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words.
Yeah. So a dream comes through a multiple of business. When you want to live a good life, you just don't have one thing. You do many things to achieve that dream that you have, right? And you can tell that these kind of people, that it could be little businesses. You could be selling freaking stickers on over here and ices over there, and but they have a bunch of they're working on their dream though. Doesn't matter what they're doing, Khan.
Khan.
But a fool is known by the multiple of their words. It's not the works that they do, it's the stories that they tell. For instance, when those people be out there talking about, oh, I used to do this back in 1972, I was the best quarterback in high school and this, that. Yeah, but what about right now? What are you doing right now? Oh, I'm sleeping with people's wives. Like what? What? Good example?
Yeah.
It's foolish. You can tell by their words that they haven't accomplished anything. I have a saying. I haven't said this in a long time, but it goes like this. It goes, excuses are the tools of the weak and incompetent. Those who achieve wait. Those who achieve success in their usage seldom achieve anything in life. Make sense?
Khan.
That's excuses are words. And I'm gonna read the last one. Um it's from Proverbs 19 and 29 in the NLT. It says, punishment is made for mockers, and the backs of fools are made to be beaten. You see that? Punishment is made for mockers. So those who mock the Most High, their punishment will come. It doesn't. You won't know what's the punishment going to be, but their punishment will come. And the backs of these fools are made to be beaten, like a baby, a little child. I'm not saying you go and beat your child, but when your child is acting foolish, what do you do to a child? You reprimand them.
Khan.
You don't want them to grow up to be foolish people. But these same people grow up to be adults, and their backs are made to be beaten, like that. You know. So with that, that's that class right there. We could
Good class. With these fools.
it was a quick class.
Said it was a good class with these
I mean, I could
fools. That was 40 minutes, man.
hope that was a whole 40 minutes of
About
foolishness.
fools.
That was 40 minutes of foolishness with Fred. I could do another class real quick.
Nah,
You know,
it's up to you.
but we could leave it at that.
I'm like dozing off.
Um, my mic or your mic?
No, me. I'm like falling asleep.
Oh. And I'm the one that doesn't feel good. Does anybody have any questions, brother Judah, sister Nomi?